Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a few days and today I wanted to do my very first story time video. Honestly, I feel like my voice is coming out at a different pace than my lips are moving because I can't feel my mouth because it's quite cold out here. But I really love this background. I'm in a nice little park. And there's a cute little doggy. So that's what that is. 안녕하세요. So yeah, I'm in Hanul Park right now in Seoul. And it's just really nice weather. But anyways, let's get to the story time. So actually, this is something that happened just a few days ago on this trip. So this is the story about the time that I ate soap. Actually, I actually ate soap. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. So it's gonna take me a few moments to get to the actual soap eating part, so just bear with me, okay? So basically, I went to this vegan restaurant the other day. It was a very good vegan restaurant. It was actually my second day here. I went there for dinner and it was called Vegan Kitchen in Myeongdong. I really loved it and I highly recommend. So basically, I walked inside and I ordered my food and stuff, and there was a Polish couple that was sitting on the opposite side of the restaurant from me, and we saw each other, but we didn't speak because they were all the way on the other side of the restaurant and they were getting ready to leave. But I saw them, they saw me, and actually a cool thing about that restaurant is that your banchan, which is your side dishes, are served by a robot, and I didn't know that, so I was shocked. I was oh my gosh, a robot. And so they saw my reaction and thought it was funny, so they chuckled and we looked at each other and stuff like that. And so then the next day I went for lunch at this other vegan restaurant called Vegan Insa, which is in Insadong. I also really love that place. I highly recommend. And then this same Polish couple was there at the same time that I was there, and they had arrived not long before I did because they were also just getting their food. So we were both there, and then we ended up chatting for basically the entire hour or so that we were eating our food or waiting for our food to come in and eating. And we were just chatting. We were the only people in the restaurant because we had come just slightly before their break time, so they were kind of technically on break, but they had allowed us, served us and whatnot. So we were chatting, and the owner was really happy and surprised by the fact that we knew each other, and also by the fact that we were chatting the whole time, because I don't know, I guess we kind of livened up the mood. And so he was really kind of invested in our conversation too. He was popping in and out of our conversation, and he even came and gave us this book that his friend had written. He just gave it to us for free. It was kind of a memoir kind of book. And then later on he came and he gave us this other thing for free that was kind of looks like this dok, which is a rice cake kind of thing. It was and I thought it was a big rice cake situation or something, maybe a red bean paste filled something, I don't know. But we were sitting at different tables, right, the Polish couple and I, and so he explained to them what it was, but I didn't really hear what he said at all, actually. And then he comes to me and he gives me the thing, and then I don't know why I just was okay, whatever. I was come samnida, thank you. And so kind of before he could explain to me what it was, so I guess that gave him the impression that I had already heard what he told them. But to be honest, I didn't really care what it was, even though usually I always I'm very interested in what it is, to learn about new things. I don't know, I guess I was just hungry, so I was eating my food and I was yeah, whatever it is, I'll eat it later, it's fine, it's probably something sweet, whatever it is, doesn't even matter, I'm gonna eat it. So anyways, then I take that to go because I have a few things like left. So I take a few things that I didn't finish. I take it to go after me and the Polish couple finished talking, which, by the way, that in and of itself was like a really cool magical moment. The fact that like I met this Polish couple again, and like me and like the lady, we like exchanged social medias and stuff like that, and like, oh, she's so sweet. So that was like really fun. But anyways, then later on in the day, I'm meeting up with my friend, and like we go to this board game cafe, and you know, we order like I order like tea and stuff at the board game cafe, and then I have my little like cake thing, and then I'm like, you know what, let me like eat that because it'll go well with tea probably. And then I take a big chunk of the thing, like literally a big chunk, like probably 1/3 of the thing I'm like eating, okay? And I eat it and I'm chewing it, and as soon as it gets in my mouth, I'm like, this tastes so bad. And like it tastes so bad to the point where it doesn't seem like something that is just because of my taste preferences that it tastes bad. It actually tastes inedible. Like I genuinely am unsure if this is food at this point. And then I'm asking my friend, I'm like, do you think this is food? But like they're not vegan and stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, it's probably I don't know, I don't eat vegan food. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so you're telling me you think it tastes bad because it's vegan? And then they're like, I don't know, I don't eat vegan food. And then I'm like, okay, I don't think I should be eating this. And then they're like, just spit it out then. So then I spit it out, and then the taste is lingering in my mouth. And then I'm like, okay, I think I need to go like rinse my mouth and stuff. And then long story short, I end up throwing up in the bathroom, and like I throw up like everything that I ate that day, like literally everything. Like it's kind of gross, but yeah. And then like the taste is still in my mouth, and I'm like, honestly, my tongue is starting to hurt a little bit. Like I don't know, my throat feels a little weird. Like thank God I didn't swallow it, but whatever it was, like, is this what an allergy feels like? You know, it makes me question. Like, I don't think I'm allergic to anything, but like, is this a new allergy that's been like unlocked? Like, when you eat something that you're allergic to, does it like taste absolutely like disgusting, and does it make you vomit right away, like, and your tongue hurts and your throat hurts and like starts like your tongue a little like swells up, and maybe your throat closes a little bit? Like I was like, is this what an allergy feels like, you know? And then I got so scared because I was like, oh my God, am I allergic to something right now? Because that's gonna change like the whole course of my life, because I love food. So if I'm allergic to something, then I'm gonna have to figure it out. And I was really scared. And then thank God, because I had the Polish lady's contact info, I messaged her later in the day, and I was like, hey, what did the guy say that thing was again? And then she tells me, she was like, oh yeah, it's a vegan soap and shampoo bar that his friend makes. And I'm like, okay, I just took a big chunk out of that soap bar. Like I ate like half of it. I mean, thank God I didn't actually like swallow it, because then I would have actually had to call poison control, which would have literally sucked because it would have cost a lot of money. As I'm traveling, it would have like ruined my trip, and it would have just taken basically all the money that I have for the trip. And anyways, I'm like, wow. And then she's like, yeah, she's like, my husband tried it, and it smells kind of bad, but I think it washes well. And I'm like, yeah, I totally didn't hear what he said, and I assumed it was a dessert. So I ate it, and and I thought I was gonna die. And then that was so funny. And then she was like, oh my gosh. And she was like, who knows, maybe it washes well. And I was like, well, it definitely cleaned my insides out. And I was like, oh God, thank the literal Lord that I like spit that thing out. But that was crazy. So I actually ate like a whole half bar of soap basically. And yeah, when they say like, oh, if you ingest this and that, then call poison control, like they're not kidding, people. Because I didn't even ingest it. I just put it in my mouth for like a little bit, and already I threw up everything, and that taste was in my mouth, and my tongue was hurting, and my like throat was closing up a little bit, and I was genuinely scared. So yeah, that sort of stuff is no joke. Like when they say like, oh, if you consume soap or shampoo or toothpaste or whatever by accident, call poison control. Like, y'all, mouthwash, I don't know, just like call poison control, or like just try to not consume it. And maybe ask next time you're traveling and eating something new, maybe don't necessarily, even if you don't care what it is, like you don't have to ask what it is specifically, although you should, just because it's nice to know. But at least ask, is this cake, is this edible, is this whatever, like to make sure it's actually food. because wow, I literally almost died. So that was crazy. That was crazy. And then I was like, see, this is why this whole like soap that looks like food business is dangerous, okay? Because then there's people like me who will like actually eat the soap thinking that it's food. But to be completely honest, it didn't like look like food. It didn't look like it was like pretending to be food. Because you know how they have like, oh, the soap that looks like a cake slice or something like that. Like, it didn't look like that. It was just a little block that was like a circular thing. But it's because their dok that they have here, like the rice cakes, they have some like sweet ones and stuff. And they're kind of just shaped like circular or like squares. And so that's why. And it looked like it had a little powdery kind of thing on top. So that's why it looked kind of like the dok, like how they have like the powder on it. So that's what made it look like food. So I don't know if it was like supposed to be like a dok shaped soap bar, or if it was literally just a soap shaped soap bar. Like I just assumed that it was food. So yeah, so I literally almost downed a whole block of soap, a whole bar of soap, and almost died. So 0 out of 10, don't recommend. But I mean, all the other food I ate here has been great. And plus that one time that the thing didn't taste good, it was soap, so it wasn't even food. So yeah, but I just think that's funny, because then if someone asked me like, oh, how was the food in Seoul, and I was like, oh my god, everything I ate was great except for that one time I ate soap. But yeah, so that's my story about the one time that I ate soap just the other day, and how I almost poisoned myself, and how you should not do that. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and happy travels. Just make sure if you get anything for free or something, just ask if it's edible, instead of just assuming that because they're giving it to you at a restaurant and it looks kind of like food, that it would be food. Ask questions, people. Ask questions, or listen if they're trying to tell you something. Even if you only kind of heard what they said, just like ask to hear the entirety of what they're trying to tell you, because it might be important. It might save you from a really terrible, expensive trip to the hospital. And also, don't swallow anything that you don't think belongs in your body or that doesn't taste good, because yeah, like if I had just forced myself to swallow that just because I was like, oh, I don't want to waste food, I would have literally ended up in the hospital. So, but yeah, that's the time I almost ate soap. So yeah, peace.